Hello, everybody. I will kind of actually just do what I do until I see somebody pop in here. I got a lot of things to talk about. So I'm live now and got a big explosion on my channel today thanks to you people, everybody. It seems like with all the new emails I'm getting from you, because I left my email up on my last live video, you're all interested in Letitia and Lisa by themselves, these girls in forest and woods. So I'm going to answer some of these emails I got while I was gone and go from there. And I see people popping in and popping out. And I don't know if this is working or not. But hopefully somebody will pop in and see what I'm talking about. I will address the people as you pop in, and hopefully Lisa, Letitia, and all the others will pop back in here and join again. Oh, I got a thumbs up, but I don't see nobody. Oh, there, somebody just popped in. Thank you for the thumbs up. I got a lot of emails from you and all these new subscribers today, and people living in tents in the woods. Seems to be people want to know how they're living, and they want to know if these girls are all right in the woods. I think Letitia is in the national forest in Montana, and Lisa, I think, is in the UK. And these girls are living outdoors and in tents. Well, Letitia's in a camper like this one, living in a camper like a pop-up. And what I'm going to attempt to do is reprogram it and write a program for streaming so that I can see you and you can see me when I'm videotaping any of these people living in campers or RVs, or worse, living in tents in the wilderness. You'll be able to see them too in their actual habitat, with their tent, how they're surviving, how they survive the cold, the wolves, the bears. Uh, I am attempting to make it a two-way communication. Jack, he says, well done on your live videos, Underground. We don't need all that fancy equipment and all the fancy stuff. Your videos are more raw and more real and to life, and that's what attracted me to your channel. And Lisa, she needs to learn her rocks. Yes, I'm teaching her how to charge rocks to keep her tent warm for 2 or 3 days in very cold climate, so that because she don't have propane, she can't carry that in a backpack, and she don't have no kind of a stove. And right now, she's just using campfires, as I know. Wow, way to go, Lisa. Lisa is on now. If you read the live chat right now, that's the only way she can communicate on this channel is through live chat. So if you want to give her some hints or experiences or the whole channel, I think I'm going to do what some of these subscribers told me to do. And they said that my channel has the potential to be one of the biggest raw channels on YouTube. Not only that, Melinda gave me a good suggestion about this channel, especially with the girls living in tents and RVs and living in the woods or at campgrounds. She said I should run React, turn this channel like they used to have on CB radios as React. Now, that's a good, interesting idea. And if those of you don't know who React is, React Emergency Broadcasting Channel that you could go on live on air. That was before all this technology took over, cell phones and computers. And back from the days when I was growing up, we had React. If somebody was broken down on the road or somebody needed some help, they'd get on the React and say, "Breaker, breaker, React. I'm in trouble at mile marker 74 on US 67. Can somebody stop by and help me?" That's basically React. And not everybody has CB radios or hand walkie talkies. And walkie talkies, if you're way out deep in the wilderness, you're lucky if somebody around also has one that's actually on that frequency. So I think that's a good idea. And at least I'm putting it out there so you all know these are things I can do. and and like Jack says, it would be nice if they could see these people actually in the woods or in their campers or at their campsites and communicate with them through this channel, or and to be able to see them. I don't think anybody on YouTube's ever tried to do that. Have you ever heard of anybody having a two-way live streaming where you can be talking to this person and seeing me and I can see you? Now they can do that with Messenger. They can do that with Viber and some other apps. And if they can do it on those apps, why not YouTube? Why can't we do that on YouTube? Or has anybody ever thought of that idea before today? I got on my last live video, I left and went to a college to help some college kids out get their vehicle started so they get to their classes. And I just got two more comments on YouTube, but I'm not going to open it up until those comments, until after I've cut this off, and I will review those comments on the next segment. And I want to congratulate you and let you all know within that 1 hour, I gained 7 subscribers because they were watching the live chat and us chatting and me rambling like an old man. And for some reason, they liked it. So I don't have all these fancy cameras where I can, do like these fancy channels and everything. Right now, I am raw. I just don't have the money or the donations right now, and I don't have no way on my regular videos that I just upload to monetize them to get a little bit of cash. And maybe, just maybe, one idea from I forget her name. She just got in a lot of trouble in her camper. She was camping by herself. Well, not by herself, her and her husband. And some people went to that site and was doing stuff to their trailer and trying to scare these campers. And so that's where I guess React would come in handy. And a two-way live video. And because I can't get to these states or get to where these people are living in woods because I'm not mobile yet. When I get my final setup, I want to be able to pull a 16-foot cargo trailer with a bed that falls back so I can have my air compressors, my welders, machines, and my tools and everything. So when somebody does have a bad accident, but nobody can't get to them, I'll be able to go and camp there with them and work on their campers. And I could do that. And like if somebody's stuck or they're scared and they're lost in a wilderness, I will teach how to do a GPS system so we can always have your grid coordinates. And if I do turn this into a React channel, on the side, apart from what my regular content is and what I guess my channel is leading to with all these new subscribers wanting raw live footage of real life people having to live this way in campers and everything. So that I think is a good idea. And if you have good ideas, please drop them in comments if you're here, or put them down below. And I've lived this life on and off all my life. Um, Most of the time, it's always by choice because I'm an outdoors person. I love the outdoors, and I love that living on a mountain. I've done that. My family has a mountain in West Virginia, and so I'm ex-military. So I think I have a lot to offer, and people don't have that kind of knowledge, or they have to live this way, or they make a choice. A lot of people selling their houses and buying nice campers and RVs, which they're a step up of having the next best thing, a house on wheels, or building tiny houses, or camper trailers, or living in tents. I have all that experience, and I've had the jobs of building campers and house trailers and double wides. So I can do that. And camping has been the biggest part of my life. If you want to call it camping or nomad lifestyle or living in a tent, I've done that. I've lived in, well, now I'm going to live in a pop up, and that's what I'm fixing. And as soon as I get the right kind of, I'm going to get a GoPro. Somehow I will get a GoPro camera. That way I can clip it on like everybody else does. And when I'm working and fixing campers or cars or welding or something, or teaching people how to fix their pop-ups without actually having to take their tops off, then that'll make those part of the videos pop a little bit better, because you can actually see, and maybe if your camper's broke or something, you see how I fix it. That might give you ideas of making yours get fixed. Lisa, are you still with me? And has anybody out there heard from Letitia? I haven't heard from her in like 5 days. And she's in a national forest somewhere, deep in the forest, in one of these national forests up north from here. Well, northwest, I should say. North is actually Canada. I had another guy, those of you, he said he was in the wilderness, but he lives with thousands of Christmas trees. And he was needing an axle repair build, wanting to know if I could come up there. But when I finally found out what he meant by Christmas trees, he lives in Michigan, United States. And when up north, most of North Michigan is Christmas trees, and they ship them everywhere at Christmas time. So I got to turn this thing on, torpedo heater. It's going to be a little loud, and feel free to leave a comment over here. And if you need my email address again, like I put on my last live video streaming, just let me know and I'll pop it in over here. I might just do that anyways. But right now I'm freezing, so I got to turn on this jet heater. I got a little electric heater under the table just to keep my feet warm because I don't like wearing shoes. There, you should be able to hear it. Yeah, my meter on my mic went up. So just give me a couple of minutes and let it dry, or let it heat up in here. And it holds the heat for about 10-15 minutes. And I got it all up. I finally got this all spread out, and I'm getting ready. Once I fix the cables and the springs and the 2 poles that somebody broke when they owned this, and get it where I can crank it up and down. My next project after that is welding a rod to the crankshaft instead of using the crank, and putting a swivel socket on there and welding that to that. And I can take my impact gun and just and the job will go up and down with one hand. I'm partially paralyzed on my left side, and my speech sometimes gets mixed up. So if you want to know why I do that, it's because of the strokes and heart attack. It's starting to get a little warm in here now, and I don't know. I think Lisa might have left. So I'll type her a message. She might not have video. I don't know if her phone is charged up. There, I just sent her a new message. It's on the right side. I asked her if she's still with us. Letitia, she's been gone for 5 days, so I'm a little worried about her in the wilderness. I think she was having a wolves problem, if I remember right. If you see her in the video, she talks about that, and now I can turn off this heater. It don't take much for that big, gigantic 300,000 BTU or 3,000 BTUs in the small camper. But the diesel fumes gets to my throat. So I think she might have left. But I still see 2 people. So what do you guys think? Do you think that's the way I should run the live video streaming to be able to have communication with these people that are in tents and campers and stuff? And I'll find a way to make it double, and or they can do pre-recordings and I'll be able to upload them, and then maybe I can time it out where they're answering my questions or they're asking me questions where it falls in line with my live video, and then when it goes down I can edit it and make it a little bit better, so that not only are you seeing me in this camper, you can see these girls and these people living in tents in the wilderness. Another video channel that is really good. Oh, I'm getting live. See, I'll show you. Excuse me, this diesel fumes. If you can see my YouTube icon, you might not be able to see it unless I get it really close. Where'd my YouTube thing go? Oh, it's over there on my left. It's the opposite on the camera. On my YouTube, it shows that I'm getting comments live, but not live here. But anyways, if the channel goes that direction and you guys really want it to go that direction, and you want to keep track of these people that are living in the wilderness and the obstacles in real life time, kind of like a reality live streaming channel, I guess. But not with the commercials and all the advertisements and the fancy gear. It'll be raw, real life. I would like to have that kind of stuff, but at this time, I just don't have the money to get all that equipment back that was stolen from me. So, well, I ain't getting no answer. Maybe Lisa's video or her camera has died or needs recharging somehow. And maybe she'll be back on later on tonight. I'm on a little early. I wasn't supposed to be on till around 10 o'clock, my normal time, but my last 2 days has been a little hectic. And We got a lot of bad weather here right now. Whoa, I gotta find something different than this diesel heater. Woo-wee! I need to get a Mr. Buddy. Man, like I said, this is raw real life. And some of my subscribers said they like that better. So you're seeing me in real raw life. I guess that's the term they use. So they're using that term. Oh, hi, Lisa. She's back. Yep, 3 people up here. We was just talking about you. Nothing bad, nothing bad. And if I don't croak from diesel fumes, I'll be here. But Lisa, do you think that's a good idea? That these people are sending me emails and I'm getting live or updated comments on different videos and they're showing up. So I'll probably talk about them the next time. But do you think it's a good idea to let these people be in your life like that through live streaming so you're not totally alone in the woods? And you're not the only one. Did you meet Letitia the other night when she was on and having I think it was wolves that was invading her campsite in the national forest, and I was talking about how to keep them and bears and people 200 feet away from your campsite when you're out there. If you was on that night, or if you have any good ideas or think this is a good idea, before you popped out, I was reading an email. One person said that I should treat this channel partially like a React channel. Now, I don't know where you're at, if you know what React is, but back in the day, before all these contraptions were invented, cell phones and things, we had a CB radio, and channel 9 frequency was always dedicated when people had an emergency. That's how they got help. Breaker, breaker, react on mile marker 67 on US 27. And that's how they would get help. But if we do it, I could do like a react channel. And then when all these people that are living, like the lady last night that got in trouble with a lot of people, guys, scaring her and her husband and shaking their camper and stuff. Um, the only help that she had was her cell phone, and she could have used a channel like this to be able to get live help and also having it videoed at the same time. Do you think that's a good idea, Lisa? And then we can see your surroundings, your tent, and your campfire, and what you do, how you live. A lot of people would be interested in keeping tabs on you. 7 new subscribers subscribed today just for that reason. Especially after that lady last night, she got really scared. So, do you think that's a good idea? I mean, I'm running it by everybody before I even try. I'm going to try to program this so that you can be on live at the same time I'm on live and we can see each other, and other people will be able to see each other, and turn live streaming into a group session like they do on Viber or Messenger. You can do that with them. So if Facebook can do it, why can't we do it here? So, are you okay, Lisa? And what do you think? Inquiring mind, I don't know. Finally, those diesel fumes are clearing out of here. So, I'm just putting these ideas up, and it looks like I'm getting a lot more right now from other people, and somebody is streaming this on Facebook, and I don't know how they're doing it, but it's piped into Facebook on their channel somewhere, and I think it's being done in Germany, the way the IP addresses look. So, if you think it's a good idea, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and if you're still here with us, Lisa, leave a comment over here in live, because a lot of people are uh, wanting to see your live comments like you did the last time. And especially if you ever do need help, or maybe there's people out there that wants to donate and help you, give you a few bucks here and there. Um, uh, and that would help you. And maybe you could, uh, have what you need when you need it. I don't know. I'm just rambling and throwing what these people are asking me. And I thought they were good ideas. So, and then with everybody living out there and we're in these campers, there's a lot of people out there that is wondering about how to make the transition of getting rid of their house or selling their house or get out of the rent situation and save and free that money up so they can use it for whatever reasons they need to give themselves a leg up. So I don't know what happens if I click on somebody in my live chat. What happens? Oh, there's 3 dots up there. Let's see what those 3 dots say. Report, remove, put user in time. What's put user in time? Does anybody know? Hide user on this? Nah, I don't want to do that. And add a moderator. Now that would probably be a good idea. Is anybody interested in being a moderator? And when I'm not on, they could keep this live, even though if I'm not here to keep it live. That might be a good idea. How do I get that off? Oh, okay. But that might be a good idea. I'll have to play with that at a different time and on my other channel. So, yes. Okay, Lisa. I'm going to do that for you. Not just for you, but primarily, my speech ain't right, but you know what I'm trying to say. And I wish somebody could get a hold of Letitia. And I want to try to find that lady again last night where the people were trying to scare them when they was camping at this campsite that was free, and they were the only campers there. And some guys tried to scare her and her husband last night, and well, they did a pretty good job. But that's nonsense. And if she's live on here, only you can always video, and what you're videoing is going live. Then we have a way to know in emergency where to get you some help. And not only that, this is an information channel. A lot of people is wanting to know how we're living in these campers or how people are living in tents. So, and I'm sure you, Lisa, may have some ideas. Think about what you would need that would help you, that you could use this type of situation, or people could know, just keeping in touch and they're interested in living this kind of a life, or maybe they have to and have no choice. Some people make the choice to live this way, and some people are forced to live this way. And then it helps if there's people there to, tell them, okay, this is how you can do this and this, so they're not so scared by themselves trying to learn the hard way, or they just don't know. And so I got a lot of emails that all of a sudden that came through since I went off on my last live video until now, that I couldn't possibly read all of them yet. And and quite a few is very interested in the Girl in the Woods, her channel. That's on YouTube. Just look it up in your search. A lot of people was asking about her because she actually has nicer things to make her camping situation, and she does it by choice. She don't actually do it full time or have to live that way 24/7. But she's leaning toward that, and she's an extraordinary girl, and she videos everything she does at her campsite, and it's very interesting. And the things she tells you, you can learn from it. That's called Girl in the Woods. I think I will add that link later, and I'll put it down below, and I'll get her channel there and link up to it so you can watch her videos and learn many things. She's really, really good starting fires. I've not seen no other girl that can start fires with one spark as easy as she does with one spark. And she's not using lighters or butane or anything. Me, I'm lazy. I use butane. But girls can't carry heavy stuff a lot if they need other things to survive. And every person has a different situation, and you need different things for those situations. And like Lisa, she's wanting to learn how to charge rocks. So as soon as she sends me a little live video of the river or creek where she's at and her surroundings, then I will be able to see more to help her how to charge rocks. I don't want her getting hurt, and I don't want her exploding a rock and getting rock fragments, and she out there in the middle of nowhere with no help. She gotta, I gotta teach her. I'm gonna teach everybody what rocks you can charge. You don't want limestone rocks; they will explode. And I see some more people popping in here. Wow! Leave a comment if you're living this kind of lifestyle in a tent or RV or anything. Leave a comment. Introduce yourself to other people, and you had an okay. I'm gonna read it for those that hasn't. Lisa just put up a live video or a live chat. She says, "I think where I am, I had a encounter. I wish I could get two-way live video so we could actually do like interviews and show people. I'm going to work on that. I'm going to find a way to make live streaming two-way, one-on-one with the people and the subscribers where everybody else is wanting to see that. So right now she's limited on what she's got. She's got a cell phone, and if she used the video, she runs her battery down. So I gave her some ideas on how to have a battery charger thing that has a solar panel on it, and it looks about the same size as the phone, and you can carry that in your sack, plus a roll-up solar panel that you can directly charge in and get more wattage and charging power real fast with a rollout, and it only weighs ounces. So you can put that in your rucksack, and it doesn't add weight when you're traveling and moving. UFOs are not a joke out here. UFOs, UFOS. Well, they're probably not a joke, but what that is, can you kind of explain, or if that's a typo maybe, or if anybody else knows? What are UFOs? I think that might be a typo. And if it's a certain type of animal or something. Aliens? Oh, UFOs! Oh my goodness. Well, that's an entire different subject. I don't know what to say about them. Not there. I wish I was, but if I was there, then I would find ways to capture videos of them. But I'm not saying they don't exist, because I've seen some things in my life, and when I lived on the mountain, I saw some strange things. Your comment got a heart from Regis. Oh, somebody left a heart on one of the comments. So I don't know. Maybe he's on here live. But you saw a few there? I don't doubt it. I've seen some strange things. And just the other night in our little city, I saw a ball of fire about the size of this bottle. And it was pretty round. And I was going to my cousin's house when I saw it. And I don't know if some kids were playing some kind of a joke or if it might have been one of those drones and had it on a string and and they made it like that, trying to scare people, or what it was. It was strange, and with these drones, it's hard telling. And now they have a 3D projector that they can project things and make it look like just flying through sky. And you might want to watch that segment about that on NASA and try that. But you know what? I'm a firm believer in the scriptures, and I think it's in Corinthians that there where the Lord says they're celestial bodies and heavenly bodies and other kind of bodies. I think there's I'd have to read that scripture again, and I think space is forever; it never ends. And God's creator of everything. And there's other worlds that the scientists and NASA is just discovering that has water on them. So I think if God is omniscient and he's unable to stop creating, so space just keeps growing and worlds and things like that. And I think to myself, are we the only ones in all that? And think of the universe and the galaxies we're in. I think maybe there is other people out there that we call aliens. And I think that technology or their visitation uh, is real. I think it could happen. I haven't seen a walking alien myself, but I've seen some strange objects flying around the moon one night on a telescope. So I believe her. There's probably something going on around, and and a lot of times it's in secluded woods or forest or on mountains. Regis replied. Okay, I'll have to read his reply. We're starting to get a lot of comments on that subject that Lisa has mentioned. And my cousin was abducted every time she eat KFC. Lisa, are you with me? Every time she eats Kentucky Fried Chicken, she's abducted. I don't mean to laugh at you, Lisa, but now that one's a strange thing. So I think I will leave that one alone and see if anybody has any other comments. And I don't eat at KFC, so I don't like their chicken. But anyways, living in tents and RVs and everything can be scary. And if you're out there in the wilderness, I remember sometimes I'd be by myself by my campfire, hear a strange noise. These movies I've seen, horror movies that pops into my mind. Your mind can run away with you. And one time I scared myself so bad that I started running. And it was nothing. It was just my thoughts. And I was young. I was like 19 or 20 years old. Okay, Lisa, I'm not um, discrediting it or say it doesn't happen because there's so much out there that scientists and or people don't know, and strange things that happened. Like Where's a lot of this technology coming from? And that is unworldly. So I kind of believe you, um, especially with the things that's flying around in space and around here. Who knows what they are or where they come from? But anyways, and I had that on my channel years and years ago, where people was there was a lot of sightings happening all of a sudden, and we had a big old live channel discussing those things. And after I had my heart attack, I kind of let all that go because I just didn't have the energy to be on here live. And back then, I was doing programming and helping people with their computers and coding and making their codies work and what they call jailbreaking, but it's not actually jailbreaking, it's just a term. And I kind of let that all go because it just got too much. Too many people wanting this or that. And I was one person. There was no way I could do all of that for a million people. So, and I'm just now actually getting back on here and changing my channel around and trying to get my subscribers raised up. And so I can get above that 1,000 subscriber thing and be able to use certain equipment and better stuff and be able to monitorize videos that has different content not compared to what we're doing here on live streaming right now. Are you out and in your tent now? Did you get your phone charged, Lisa? I see we're up to 5, 6. We're bouncing around between 2 and 7 people being in here at any given time. So, ouch. So, and are you warm? Looks like you're the only one leaving any comments. Um, the other 2 people are just, I guess, just watching or just, you know, seeing what we're talking about. And are you able to make a little video of your campsite and then send it through my email, and then I can reconfigure it and maybe pop it up and show it on YouTube, and everybody will have an idea of how you're living out there? Can you do that? Let me know. And now that you got my email, you can directly email me like some of the other subscribers are doing and the new subscribers. And through the email, I don't give my private number out anymore, but I will send you my private number so you can direct text me. And that's a more direct way to get a hold of me faster if you're needing some advice or some kind of help or anything like that if you're out there all by yourself. All right, you little kitty cat, quit attacking my feet. I got a little kitty cat. Say hi to everybody. Say hi. Lay back, lay there and just go to sleep. Oh, I need to know about rock heating next underground. I also will be heading to the pub to charge my phone tomorrow as it's dark now. Okay. What time is it your time? My time is actually 6:06 p.m. And as you can see, it's dark outside here too. So I think we're pretty close on the time frame. My family in the Philippines, they're 12 hours ahead of me. And if you can, I don't know how you're strapped, if you got a little bit of money, go in a Walmart nearby, or if you can find somebody that will take you, if you have a friend close by or something, get you a charging thing that's about the same size as your phone, and it's about this thick. It has lithium batteries inside of it, so the charge in that lasts a lot longer, and you can charge your phone up like 4 or 5 times, maybe more. And of a nighttime, that would come in handy for you. And you can charge it in the daytime, just leave it in the sun, and it charges those built-in lithium batteries. And if you get the adapter, if you're carrying a laptop with you, it will charge a laptop if you get the right one time. So you charge your battery in your laptop, then you use that like in the dark, and you've used your computer or your phone, you can charge your laptop up at least one time with one of those. It would be great if you had the money. You can get you about 2 of them, and you can always keep one charging at all times. And then when your phone goes down, you just connect your USB phone cord up to it, and they charge, I think, at 2.5 amps. So you'll actually be charging your phone a lot faster than using a wall electric adapter that's 1 amp. 23:07 military time. So 12, that means that's at night. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. It's 11:06 there. 11:06 p.m. or 11:07 p.m. now. That's military time. And it's been a long time. I had to count. You see me counting. 0100 is 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then you work your way around to 23. And I believe 23 is 11 in the United States. I got to turn this heater on because I'm freezing, and then I'm getting a lot of air. The wind is blowing somewhere. I got part of my tarps open because I'm getting ready to drill in the support poles, and I didn't get to that. And I'm not putting the tarp back together to air tighten this place up. And I need to get the chill off. So it's going to be a little loud right now. Okay, yes, 11 at night. Okay. Tomorrow, if you can hear me over this heater, and I see my meter bouncing, so you should be able to hear me. I'll talk a little louder. I'm going to try to get some pictures of the kinds of rocks that you want to use. And if you send me an email, I will direct email them to you. So not only when you show me a little video, maybe tomorrow around your campsite, you can talk on it, and then I can actually hear your voice, and then show the creek or the river you're by, and show the kind of rocks that are around in your area. And then once we find the right rocks, to make sure you got the right rocks and you don't explode a rock, we will test each one. And the ones that pass the test, and so that you don't get hurt, we will save those, put them in a pile. And generally, you're going to need at least 24 rocks about this size. A little bit bigger than a potato. And then we will charge them one by one to make sure that you got the right rocks. And then I will teach you what to do with them after we get them charged. Okay, seems like that you probably have the right rocks around you. And pebbles is they don't charge very good, and they don't stay charged long. So you'd be defeating your purpose on little tiny pebbles. What you can use for pebbles in front of your tent, you got a bucket, you grab all those pebbles and put them in front of your tent. A big old thick round thing in front of your tent. You walk on them and mash them down in the ground. Then you let them dry that way. Now you're probably trying to figure out why to do that, right? Why would I do that? Okay, it's warm in here. Let me turn this off. And the diesel fuel is getting in my throat. Why would you want those little pebbles in your front of your tent? Well, if you're muddy and you're tracking in and out, the more mud that you track into your tent is more cleaning you got to do all the time. And then when the mud dries in your tent and it's heated in there, then you got dust flying around. Your body moving in the tent, the air's sort of pressurized inside, the air's not blowing in, and then scooting around, that flies up into the air, these particles, and then when you're eating, it's falling down in your food. The pebbles in front of your tent, you got them like a big round circle in front of your tent. When you step on them, they mash down in the ground, and then if you're walking somewhere that's muddy and you come in on your shoes, you can slide your shoes on those pebble rocks and they will scuff off all the mud or dirt, leaves or snow, and then you got like a little patio, and that keeps your tent cleaner. And then if you got a little whisk broom, you can just, it's a porch after that, you can just sweep off your porch, keeps your tent cleaner and more or less dust free. So does that kind of answer your question, why the little pebbles? Let me know if you think that's a good idea. Maybe you haven't thought of that before, or maybe you already knew that. And others that's watching can learn that technique. And another thing is, when I lived in a tent and I was on the mountain, I was there for months. I think I had to live that in that particular campsite that I made up myself because there was a creek, and I went down lower from that creek down the side of the mountain, and I got me a garden hose and put it up in that creek, and there was enough water flowing into that hose that it ran down that hill like 50 feet into a big container, plastic container that I had sitting out there, and I had fresh, clean creek water coming out of the mountain. I didn't have to put filters on it, and I had running water just using gravity. So there's a lot of ways you can make it convenient in a situation like that. And another thing is, sometimes if it's cold and you don't have a refrigerator, you can get you a good gunny sack, double it a couple of times, and you can store your food in that gunny sack, your meats, or milk, or whatever you want to put in there. And then you kind of throw it up over the limb, and you just pull it up and get it up real high and tie the rope off on another tree so that wildlife can't get up in there and tear the bag open and get your meats and stuff, because a lot of times when you're living like that, you can't always go to the grocery store. So I hope that kind of gives you a little bit hint, and especially on the little pebbles. And with the little pebbles, I made me a sidewalk where I traveled and and made another makeshift. I don't want to say shack, maybe a kind of like a tree stack TP looking things, and that was my smokehouse where I would smoke some of my meats. If I killed a deer, and I would take a leg, and then I give the rest of the deer to my family or somebody that didn't have hardly any food, and I only just took what I needed to survive on for a couple of weeks. And I made deer jerky and smoking it in that little smokehouse that I made out of tree logs and digging it out a little bit inside of the mountain, and made me like what they call a miniature rocket stove out of the earth and rocks. And that's how I cooked my meats and smoked them and hanged them up in the tree. So when I got hungry, if I didn't have any fish or anything and I needed meat, I just let that sack down, carve me a big old piece off of that leg, and then take the frying skillet out and put my end ingredients in. And I would take and make myself mashed potatoes, and or in another pot I would have corn, and I would have a full size meal. There is pebbles around me and big ones. That's the last message. Still two people in here, and if that's good information to help you or anybody out there, leave a thumbs up, subscribe. There's a lot more you can learn having to live this kind of lifestyle, and there's just so much, and every situation is different. So always assess your campsite or wherever you go, and be aware of your surroundings. Be alert, and be aware of your environment and what the land or nature has in that area that it can offer you if you need it, like learning how to hunt certain berries. Mulberries grow just about everywhere. So you can always, if you have to go into survival mode, you can always find things to eat. And around creeks and rivers, you can always fish. And me, I never worried about it. I love rabbit meat. I love squirrel meat, and of venison, deer meat, wild boar. That's my favorite. And a rattlesnake every now and then is very good for you too. And you just want to be careful on how you catch it. But rattlesnake meat is very good. A lot of people say it tastes like chicken. Good idea. Uh, I can once I can get more privatized with you with the emails or direct texting, maybe tomorrow, I'll turn you on to some videos of women actually doing the exact same thing that you're wanting to do. I did it, but I didn't have to actually dig it out. On our mountain, I found a cave when I was little, and I don't mean little, probably about 16 years old. And that cave had not been discovered by anybody for many, many, many years. And I was like 16 years old, and it was just a little hole in the side of the mountain where we were deer hunting, and I stumbled by it by accident because there was a lot of leaves, dead leaves over to the hole, and little brushes around it. And when I slid down the mountain and lost my footing, my foot hit that side and dropped down, and then I rolled down a couple of tumbles. And when I got up, I looked and I saw a little black hole. So I went and got a flashlight, and me and my cousin, we went up in there and looked at it, and we turned it into a clubhouse. When we were young, it was just a little clubhouse, and getting in the hole was tight. It was skinny, but when we got in there, you could stand up, and it was probably, the cave was probably about 25-foot round circle, and on one side, water was dribbling down the wall, hitting this big old flat rock, going into a little puddle, and then I guess it went underground, was going out towards the creek down the mountain. It was always fresh running water in there. And then when I got older, after my first divorce and lost everything, I went inside that little cave. By this time I'm like 22 years old, and turned it into a nice home in there. And I, at that time, bought a generator and built a box to keep it stealth and very quiet, and bought some pipe at the store, and ran a muffler pipe through that water and through this hole that was going down where the water was going, and that made it super quiet. You couldn't hear it unless you was inside the cave, and it was very minimal that you could sleep and it wouldn't disturb you. And with the quiet box I built around it, the exhaust was going down, and popping out in that hole where the water was going down under the ground and going down to the creek. Nobody could ever hear it. I had electricity in my cave. The only downfall is I'm always having to leave to go get gas to keep in it. Nowadays, they got some really super little generators. You just, and they put out like 800 watts. You don't need no more than 800 watts in a cave, or like what you want is to build a underground hut. And I'll turn you on to some videos of other women who has made underground huts. And there's one lady who made a hoblet from the movie. What was that movie called? Lord of the Rings, was it? I can't remember. I think it was the Lord of the Rings. You know how those houses that they showed on that movie, these hoblets were built into the mountain, and they had the big round door and everything? There's a woman on YouTube who actually built a hut like that, identical, into the side of a hill, and you would swear it's the same thing that was in the movie, and it didn't cost her that much money. So that's a good idea. And then it's thermal insulation. The walls being so thick, you don't have to really worry about heat so much, or the cold getting in, or the hot air getting in, because how thick she made it, and being under the ground so far, it always stayed like at 50 degrees. She needed a little heat. She had a little stove, cook stove, that would burn little wood chips, and that thing would burn for about 20 minutes, and the temperature would come up to 70 degrees. And so if you're wanting to live that kind of lifestyle, I think that's great. I've always wanted to go back to it, or back to my cave, and then become a hermit. I would become a professional hermit. But there's a lot of people living like that. And women are building these things. You would think it would be men out there doing this. There are, but there's 10 times many women out there building these huts underground. It's all over YouTube. And find the girl that's building the hoblet hut. That is a really good video of hers. And and gives you a lot of ideas. And it might give you, Lisa, a lot of ideas if you're wanting to build an underground hut. Go watch that video from that woman. I might even put the links down here later, maybe tomorrow, and then you can come back and if you're watching the video or check on those links, you can go to the girls' links, like the girl that's already been living in the woods. Um, I'll put her link down there too, and maybe she can give you some good ideas too. I don't think she knows some things, but she knows a lot of things, and what she does works for her. Everything is different, and every situation and campsite is different. Living for yourself or whoever you are, if you're in a camper, if you're in a tent, a pop-up, RV, or doing the van life, nomad life, or off the grid hut life, like Lisa's wanting to do and these other women are doing like crazy. I'll tell you what, I've seen some pretty nice huts these girls has dug out in the side of a hill and made for themselves a nice tiny house and off the grid is a free life. It's like back when 17th and 16th and 17th and early 18th centuries, most of the people was either living in cabins or these kind of cave dwellings or huts that they would build into the side of dirt inside of a hill. And the biggest thing you got to know if you're building that is to know the weight of the earth above you and think about maybe earth tremors or earthquakes to build your framing inside to withstand that kind of a thing if it should, God forbid, ever happen. You don't want to be buried alive. That's my greatest fear if I had a hut. So, and there's one girl, she thought that all out. She built the whole roof and the sides and dug the whole thing out, then put the earth back on top. She used railroad ties. And I'll tell you what, she got a lot of dirt on there and she walks on there. They had a tractor drive over the top of her house and it didn't budge with those railroad ties. So that might give you some ideas. So does those give you a little bit of ideas to think about tonight while you're beside your campground or your campfire, Lisa? Does anything I said give you a few little ideas here and there? Or do you have some ideas like the one you just presented? A lot of people is liking what your idea of doing a hut like that. And I'm getting comments, so and I hope it's okay with you, Lisa. I really didn't ask you the question if you want to be known or to be seen on live video or not. I hope that's not a problem. So, go private with you one on one all the time, or keep it where we're going and help each other out. And if you got a YouTube channel, maybe we can help build yours up so that I don't know where your subscribers are. I really haven't checked that out. I'll need to go and check your channel out, and maybe we could do a double live videos using your channel, you talking and doing like what I'm doing, showing your campsite out, and then uploading if you got the capabilities of doing that, or send it to me and I'll upload it up on your channel for you and do all the work with once I get all my video editing software up. I used to do that back in the day when we had what you called, when the internet first came out, you either had to have a service provider to let you be on their server, to get on the internet, but I bought my own server board tower, which was about 6 feet high, and unlimited web pages. And I think I had like 200 people. It wasn't really big. 200 people that were paying like 19.99 a month to be on unlimited and have an unlimited website of their own. Uh, and I was doing that all through my server board. And people would call and say, "Hey, I need to be hooked up," and I would hook them up. But we can kind of do that through YouTube and make it big. If you want your channel to get bigger, or if you want to be uh, more public with your campsite and your way of living, and help other people too. That's the basic. If you see my title on my all my videos and my channel, it says "Pay It Forward," the underground channel. And I was going to change that, but I got a couple of emails in saying that they love my title of my channel and they don't want me to change it. So I haven't decided if I'm going to change it or keep it as is, so that it's easy for everybody to track and find, and be able to find the people that is living in the woods or in campers or vans, you know. So what do you think, Lisa? And are you still, yeah, 3 people's here now. Hi, everybody. If you haven't subscribed yet, this is kind of about survival, living in tents, campers, tiny houses, vans. I'm in a pop-out, living this kind of a lifestyle, and or if you just like to go out camping, get some tips, or see other people camping and having to live in these places, this is the channel to be, because it's raw live video streaming, and I'm working it so that these people that are living in the national forest or in the woods, out in the wilderness, or boondocking, or doing the nomad life, I'm going to post their private videos that they film of their campsites or do live streaming of, so that this is like a react channel. If you're out camping, people is watching you live. If something happens, it's like a react channel here in America. You can get help fast. And I can't get everywhere, or I can't drive everywhere to get to people and fix their campers or whatever their needs are. But maybe somebody who's on the channel is closer to them and could get those people help if they're out there in a bad situation camping. So, should I wash clothes or just use stream but it smelled? Think underground hut. Okay. Should clothes or just steam but it smells? Well, there's several ways I kept my clothes clean, and or prolong them and get rid of the body odors, like in the armpits when it's hot and sunny. And you can always take tree limbs and let your clothes get air fresh and air dried just through a breeze, summer breeze. And my favorite way to wash clothes is in the rain, believe it or not. I just love the smell of rainwater fresh. And if it's raining, that's a good time to take all your clothes and take them and hang them up like they're going to dry. Let them get wet, and let them, drip dry. And then when they get dry, they smell so good. They smell rainwater, spring fresh. And another thing that I used to do is, if it was like a drought and hot summer every day, I didn't really like washing my clothes in a creek. I would do so in emergency situation, but I would think about the environment and not hurting the fish, or letting something go downstream and somebody else, not knowing what these bubbles are, cause a commotion. So another thing is, If you don't have rain showers or anything for a very length of time, hang your clothes up on limbs or however you want to do it. The Girl in the Woods, the way she does hers, if you ever watch it. Oh, I just got another comment on YouTube. And so much. Um, rope. Rope is always a good thing to have. And she uses hers a lot. She uses it to put up hammocks. So she got a hammock and she'll sleep in a hammock on good nights. And she uses it to string it. She lays her clothes on it and lets them become air fresh. And me, I used to do that too. And what I did was, um, like, say I was out of a job and I suddenly got a job and passed an interview. I'm living in a campsite. I smell like campfire smoke or armpit from sweating so much. I would buy Febreze, 1 can of spray of Febreze, and when I hang them up, I would spray the armpits out and then put a light spray on them and then let the air blow around and let them just be in the air and become air freshed. And then if you don't have no way to wash them and get them dry in time for an interview, that's a great way. And then you're smelling good when you go to work until you can find the means to do whatever. Now, another thing I did when I lived in a tent was I got a washer, spinner, dryer. It weighs about 40 pounds. And the only reason why I did this, I don't go around traveling around, is because one of my Filipino female friends had given it to me, and and the the amperage, it was electricity. The amperage was low, so I had enough solar power to charge lithium battery that was like 3 kilowatts or 4 kilowatts an hour, and I could wash all my clothes and then put them in a spinner, and they would spin them and get all the excess water. And using biodegradable soap that doesn't harm the vegetarian or wherever it is, it just draining out, and hung them up. And then it's like I went to the laundromat. I had that in a tent, and just with portable sun power. And I had a Lucy, which was pretty heavy to be tracking around in a backpack, but to me it was a necessity. And then if I did travel to another camp place in the wilderness or by a creek or a pond, and what I would do was I would take the stuff that I didn't want taken, or go and take it and hide it and camouflage it and come back and get my other stuff and my camping gear and my hose and go to the new site and set up there and put everything in my tent. And I didn't have to worry about anybody trying to get into my tent. I had one mean dog. If you came in within the perimeter, he would have you. So, because I had stuff stolen from me. So, but there's many ways, many things you can do, and you don't really want to be lugging around a little washer. I'll what I'll do is I'll do a little video of it, and I'll put it up maybe tomorrow and show you this little contraption washer. It's pretty cool, and I'm going to put it in this camper because it's so sufficient and don't take up that much space. And I can wash a pair of blue jeans, a shirt, a pair of underwear, and 2 pairs of socks in it with no trouble. So I hope that answered your. Oh, getting a lot of comments. Do you really care? You really care about people? Yes, I do. But I'll answer that tomorrow. Yes, I do care about people. I care about people's survival, and I care about people getting away from the government and getting away from the rat race. mortgages, get off the satellite and cable. And like me, I have over 2,000 channels, and I don't pay for satellite or cable. I haven't for years, ever since I started doing programming for Kodi. And I don't even use Kodi no more. And if I can pay it forward with the knowledge in my head and pay it forward, something of me will still be living inside of other people that I have taught them when, if I do have the big one. Oh, this is the big one. I remember Sanford and Son. Oh, I got one on this side. Thanks. I appreciate this. Okay. Well, he's on this other video, and it's on my other computer. Oh, no, I mean, it's a she. I wish Letitia would get on here. I want Letitia and I want Lisa tied to hook up because they're in the same boat, so to speak. Let me get these off of my screen. They're just popping up everywhere now. I love it. Oh, got another one. Wow, I got 2 thumbs up. Woohoo! I got it right there on top of my screen. I guess those are down below because I try to click on there. I don't think it'll let me on live. Nope. I guess they're watching this and they're going down below and putting a thumbs up. And I want to, I don't want to mention the name because they don't want their name known because she lives this way. Like she's been doing it for almost 2 years. And like what Lisa's wanting to do and Letitia is doing. Well, I guess Lisa's actually doing it now. She says she's setting up. So, and a lot of people is interested in watching this. But somebody's answering a question, or not a question, making a comment that where I was saying in one of my videos, maybe this one, that I'm just an old man and I'm talking and where I say maybe I'll change the channel name and put all this fancy stuff in there like everybody's doing with their live videos. She says, Underground, we love you just the way you are. Keep on ranting and raving because you have something to say. Now, you have a lot to say that has been on their minds or people's minds of wanting to live this way, I guess. Some of her spelling is not right. And then she goes, you should consider running 24/7. How can I do that? How could I run 24/7? You know, oh, another one. Somebody just like they're 24/7. Yes, run 24/7. And that way, live chat is always on and we can chat each other until you till you got figured out two-way react. That is a very good idea. Okay, somebody thinks that's a good idea. And oh boy, I'm getting too many at one time. It's getting like it was years ago. Too many people, and I can't answer everybody. Oh my goodness, what did I do about that? I need a moderator. That's what I need, somebody to join me and to help out if this is going to get as big as what these people are saying. I don't know how it can get big. I don't have none of the fancy stuff or fancy camera. I'm just, like I said, I'm an old man talking about past experiences. I didn't think young people would even be interested. But a lot of majority are young people. When I'm talking to somebody direct in live place, they seem like they don't want to listen to me. So I thought it was the same way on here, but some people are listening to me, and some of them are coming from the Facebook side of live, so because it's being piped. So on that computer, I'm getting Facebook comments, and somebody in Germany is piping this channel live where they live. And I guess in Germany, there's campers and people living in the wilderness too. Go figure, right? And then some I can't read to you because I like some of their English is broken up, and unless I pre-read it as I'm reading it, sometimes it's mumble jumble. And my feet are getting cold. That wind is getting fierce. I got to get some more heat in here and go from there. So, all right. Those of you who are live on this channel, do you think that's a good idea? Oh no, I think it's a little far-fetched. I'm going to have a lot of work to do to try to make it two-way to get people live both ways. So we can do one-on-one interviews or whatever, and that way everybody can see that. Because the only way I can do a live interview is if I'm actually there. Kind of like what Bob does on the Van Life channel. Now he does really good. And for the things that's close to his heart, it's mostly designs. How people are making their designs inside of vans and campers work. That's what his channel's mostly big about. Mine is actually doing the real life survival camping and living in these tents and things and campers. So I think I'm a little bit different than Bob. And I'm subscribed to his channel. I love what he's doing, but mine, I don't want to be a copycat. I couldn't copycat because I don't have that kind of equipment. But like being one-on-one with Lisa, being one-on-one with Letitia, or this Roger guy that was on a few nights ago, and he just has a backpack and a sleeper and nothing else, not even a tent. That's a more of a rough way to go. But I don't know. Maybe you all can leave me some comments. Right now on this channel, I'm only getting one person commenting me. And that's Lisa Phillips. And I thank her. Thank her for her participation. Oh, I wish I could get my speech to work a little bit better. My left side to work a little bit better. Sorry. How should I wash clothes? Oh, we're down to 2. I don't know if Lisa's still here or she left. I actually don't know who the other 2 is unless they say something, because I can't see live comments or the regular comments. I can only see live comments right now. This one feels getting me right now, but I gotta get it warm. Getting pretty darn cold outside. Like I said, somehow I'll get a Mr. Buddy and put it in here. I think it would keep it the right temperature, not too hot or not too cold, and no fumes. I guess Lisa must have popped out for a little bit, or her phone camera, her phone died of being charged. Or she did mention she was going to leave the woods in her campsite can go to a nearby pub. They call them pub in that country. We call them something else in this country, bars. But I think she may have left to go get her phone charged up a little bit more. And if we're still on live, if you guys want me to just stay on live, then what I'll do is stay on live until she gets back. Right now, it's kind of hot, but it'll store the heat a little bit. My throat is getting a little bit dry, and those fumes are making my lungs hurt a little bit. I wish I had the money right now to go to Lowe's and get a Mr. Buddy heater, which can use little propane bottles, or I can hook it direct to the main supply propane to the camper, which is on the tongue. I just need to buy the hose length, and I think there's already one in under this seat. There might be one already built into this camper. If not, I'll have to buy one of those and pipe the propane. And the propane tank, if it's full, would probably last the rest of the winter when I'm in here. And I'm getting ready to actually move in here as soon as I get the roof, the pop top working with the springs and the cable system. Get off from there. Stay off the computer. You keep messing me up. Sorry. Kitty cat's being ornery. Go to sleep. You don't go on the computer. And then I lost, darn it, you made me lose my link to that guy in Germany. Thank you, kitty cat. And quit. You gotta go outside, girl. Sorry. She's getting ornery, wants me to play with her, and I don't want to play right now. And she walked over my other computer and knocked me off that Germany lead to the guy that's piping me to Facebook. Well, he found me 3 times, so I guess he'll find me. Oh, I'm using the wrong mouse. I might as well. I know what I can do now that happened. I can go. Well, I don't know if I could find my channel live on this computer having the same account. And man, all these scams. Let's go to, oh no, new subscriber, Regis 1. Regis 1. If you can hear me, Regis 1, this is something that happened earlier when I was fuming mad, and I started copying a text that I did about this camera. And I wasn't getting no response or help from anybody on YouTube. So I get mad, and I kind of left a message on his computer explaining what happened with that camera. And my mistake. And he's actually the only one that has actually tried to help me. And he came up with a good idea, which I have yet to start trying. I told him I would mention him on live video, and he could subscribe and be on my live video at the same time. And maybe he'll pop in here. I haven't seen any live messages from him, but I'm apologizing to him about the camera and the Walmart and it's not working, and don't have a drive to hook it up to your computer. So Regis 1, I'm glad you subscribed. And once again, I was truly sorry. it seemed like I was directing it to you, but I was directing it to everybody and not really into one person, trying to hurt anybody's channel. And it wasn't directed at you. And I'm sorry for that. And he actually gave me a good idea on what to try on that camera to get it working. The company couldn't get it working. Walmart couldn't get it working. And nobody on YouTube is even trying to talk about why the camera is not able to be plugged up to your computer and work. And they give you a USB cable, but there's no driver, is what Windows said. And he told me to take the SD card out and put it in the computer. In the old days, that's the way we used to do it. I mean, when we wanted we called it floppy disk, 4.5 or 3.5. Those days are long gone. I forgot about even taking an SD card out and sliding it in like a floppy disk. I thought those days were gone. And he came up with the idea and told me. So he's actually trying to help people on his channel. And I like that. So my hat goes off to him. And somebody out there is helping people, paying it forward. And he's actually a good channel. So I'll put his description in one of my chat places down there. And you can go and check his channel out and subscribe and help this guy out too. So go to his channel and subscribe. And everybody help everybody. That's what we're all trying to do, is get us little people are trying to get above that 1,000 subscribers. That's the hardest part. Because YouTube cooked a lot of us, you little guys, off back then. And I don't think Lisa's back yet. If we see the number pop back up more than 2, then we will have Lisa back. Letitia, being this late, and she hasn't been on for 5 days. I've checked her channel. She hasn't did anything. She was having problem with wolves being outside in her campsite in the middle of the wilderness with nobody around. And I haven't heard from her since that night. So I'm hoping she will, maybe her batteries are dead or she don't have no way to charge. And I'm hoping that she gets back on live again. I keep checking her channel out, and I haven't seen nothing new yet over 5 days. The last activity we got from her when she was there talking about these wolves live with us. And I was teaching her how to keep wolves and bears at least 200 feet from coming within 200 feet of your perimeter of your campsite or your tent site. And she has came up. She went from nothing with a sleeping bag, and she went to a tent, and then she's graduated up to a pop-up just like this one. And she loves it. And she's a full-timer who lives nomad lifestyle. Like Lisa is preparing to do this too. And she's just starting out. She's in a tent, but she has different ideas than some of the other women on this channel that comes up here trying to learn how to live in a car or a van or whatever. And oh man, this whole trailer's rocking. And the wind's getting really just blowing in here, and it don't stay warm at all. So I'm sorry, I got to turn this thing back on. So I can get a good warm buddy heater that would be big enough. The kind I want is one where I can adjust the temperature, and that's the most expensive one. That's about $150. That way you're not running full power, full gas out of your tanks at all one time. And then to turn it on and off, you have to flip the switch on and off when the temperature is too hot. But I think I have a fix. And a lot of you would probably like this hack. They call it a hack. If you got a warm buddy that don't have a thermostat where you can adjust your temperature and it just runs hot and you have to turn it off, like I'm doing this. Oh, the fumes. Hope I don't die on live video. That wouldn't be good, would it? I don't know, maybe people would like to see that. But anyways, I think I can figure a way out, because there's a lot of problems just for that very reason all over YouTube. They're making bad reviews of the good buddy, warm buddy heaters. The red, you know what I'm talking about. And just because several models don't have thermostats for them to go on and off by themselves. So what you do is you get a box, I can't think of the name, that runs by a timer. So it only is working when you want it and comes on when you want it to be on certain hours. You can set an on time and an off time. And another thing is to get a thermostat that you can plug into to set your temperature that works with 110. Generally, that's the most common. And plug your 110 cord into that and then plug the heater into that. So when the temperature goes, say like you got it set at 65, when the temperature goes below 65, it automatically kicks on, and turns on lets the relay turn the electric on to kick it to your warm buddy, and then that's a way to put an inline electrical thermostat to turn your warm buddies on and off. So if any of you out there, and especially all the people on YouTube trying to figure that situation out, and all the videos you're putting up, if you see this channel and that would interest you, just let me know. Drop a comment and say you are interested and you would like the names of the products and where you can buy them and maybe the prices of them, so that you could do that simple fix in your camper and turn it and let it be a certain temperature, like a furnace. And a lot of you don't like using your furnaces because they eat your gas up and they break down a lot. So if you want that information, I'll make a separate video, and when I get a camera that actually works, I'll video me actually doing it so you can see it once I have a warm buddy. And then we'll do a test of temperature setting and the timer to make sure it comes on. Say like you're warm of a night and you're in a sleeping bag and you don't need it to be on. Save your gas. And then you wake up, say like 7 o'clock in the morning, and you don't go to bed until like 7 o'clock at night, and then it would turn on and off automatically. But in between time, the thermostat letting the relay electricity going in and out at the temperature you want it. That's how you could turn those into a thermostat controlled warm buddy. And then those of you who want, like I do, the warm buddy that actually has one built in it, I think it also has a carbon dioxide detector built into that one. That's like $200 or maybe a little bit more. And I haven't had the money, so I haven't window shopped and checked it out just to see how good it is or how bad it is or the reviews. I don't like window shopping if I don't have money. So I don't think Lisa's back. I don't know where she's at in the woods or how far she is away that she has to hike to get to the nearest place. And ISR Roxanne. Hi, how are you? Um, if you can leave a comment, let us know. If you're a subscriber and everything, if you're living a nomad style or living in a tent or in the wilderness like a lot of these people are, that's what this channel is basically about. And we're thinking about going live 24/7. There's a lot of ideas, and it's just raw, pure, real life. None of this fancy stuff and graphics and stuff and commercials in between. It's just about one, all of us who live. I'm in a camper now for you who just joined. And thank you for the thumbs up. And I'm going to just say the last name, Roxanne, and let us know a little bit about yourself. And welcome to the family of what we call nomad lifestyle, living in tents, campers, RVs, or a dugout hole in a hill hut thing. And we're also like, those people will show us live videos of them living like that, living in the woods in a tent. And new information is going to be put down below, like the channel that's called Girl in the Woods. She's a really good survivalist, and there's a lot of things you can learn and a lot of things to make if you have a camper or you just go camping on the weekends, or you have to live this kind of lifestyle to give up the mortgage bill or rent and all your utilities to free that money to put it somewhere else that you need to. That's what this channel is all about. And those who just jumped in, the reason why my voice is bad is when I have to turn on this diesel heater. It's very cold outside, and the heat don't stay in this thing too well because I got it opened up, teaching people how to fix the roof so it pops up and down. And I may be thinking turning it into hydraulics with a remote control, so I can just go psh, and they just psh, and up and down. That's going to be a little expensive if I do that, or I'll just repair the cables and the springs and do it the old-fashioned way. This is a vintage Coleman pop-up camper, and I believe it was made in 1984, but it's extremely in good shape for a 1984. So I want to say hi in case he's not on video or live streaming. Hi, ROXX ANE. Now, I don't know if it's a he or a she. The name kind of leans me to the female side, and I don't mean to be respectful. It's hard to know sometimes. And I just said hi to you if you're still live. And welcome to the channel. Hope you subscribe, and thank you. And I will subscribe to your channel if you once I have the time to do that and help you out too. I just got another new subscriber. Wow. Probably ISR Roxanne. I'll have to go check it out. So I ain't got nothing else to do tonight. And like everybody says, they like it because it's raw live channel. And we're getting ready to broadcast live from these girls that are living in the wilderness. And this one girl we ain't heard for about 5 nights. She was having wolves, pestering her in the Wilderness National Forest. And I haven't heard from her since that night. None of us has. And it's been 5 nights. And we're waiting for her. And hopefully she'll get back on. We think it's just her batteries have discharged and she's too far to go and get her batteries charged. And she went from a tent and she's now in a pop-up just like this one. So she's doing better. having a better camper, and then she can work her way up to something else like a pull camper or something small enough that her car can pull. She's thinking, I think, I'm not sure if she's thinking that or not, but a teardrop camper would be real good for her and more solid and more protective in the environment of a national forest. So, um, still two people. I'm up to two thumbs up, and somebody on my other channel just subscribed, so that's good. Once I get over 1,000 subscribers, and then I'll be back to where I was when YouTube kicked all us little guys off. I know I keep saying that, but not really too happy about what YouTube did to all of us. Those of us wasn't getting rich, but some of us on certain videos was making enough money to buy and bring food in the house or what we needed. I mean, making $100 a month extra off of YouTube, that ain't that much money. Why kick us off? We was happy and we had a big fan base. And then all the rich guys got to stay on. I wish YouTube would just give me that back. Because with all the, what would you call that? Content of people relating to or sending me emails direct, and those of you can send me direct text and then comments, which I ain't got to read yet, is all wanting and to being involved, and a lot of people's kind of interested in Lisa and wanting to be involved and wondering how she is setting up her new camp, because this seems like it's her first time living into the wilderness in a tent. And one guy or a girl said this kind of raw content and live video of people living like that is something that people need to see in their living rooms, who have everything, who have a nice house and electric, a warm bed to sleep in, and everything. And then some people think they're just bums and don't want to work. That's not the case. Some people make the choice to live that kind of lifestyle because it's a vacation, an endless vacation all the time. And then some people do have to be forced into a situation like that where they are called homeless, but it's not because if they can't work. A lot of them are on disability and only get a certain income, and they can't afford the houses and stuff. So they go to this kind of life and they discover it's much better and much funner. And they work their way up from a tent to a camper to a pool behind. And some of them work their way up to a RV. And they love that kind of life. Me, I've done it on and off all my life. So it's my nature or second nature. So, and I don't have to worry about anything. If it gets so bad where this country gets so bad, I know I can survive. I can go out there and survive and not be worried or scared because I've done it all my life. I mean, I have lived in houses, but living in a house or living outside, most of my life's been outside. When I was little, I used to sleep in a window because I didn't like sleeping in a house. And nobody could get me to stop. They just said he was a bat. I slept upside down in a window on a second floor, and I'm in like second grade. I just didn't like it. And then it's always too hot in the house. They always kept it too hot and kept the furnace up high. And I'm more of a warm nature, unless you have a day like today where the wind's blowing up to 20 miles an hour gust and it's cold, wet, raining and icing and snowing. that cold gets to me, like it is now. If it's not blowing, not so much. I very rarely wear a coat if the wind's not blowing, but the wind's blowing really bad right now. I'm getting ready to turn this heater back on again. Choke myself out. I need to wet my whistle. Ugh. The noise is a little loud. I'm down to 1 subscriber now. If I lose people, then I might just go ahead and cut it off. I don't know who's in. There's one person I don't know who is. I got a sneaky feeling it's my brother. That's you, Stephen? Well, it's probably getting late. Oh man, it's only 7:18. I started so early. It's dark. I'm thinking it's close to 10 or 11 o'clock. And usually I don't start until 10 o'clock. So, and we're all waiting for Lisa to come back to get her phone charged. So when she gets back inside the woods, she can contact us again. I got one more cigarette, and then I gotta go back here and roll me some more. I got a machine that goes fast, but the cigarette smoke makes my throat taste better, so I'm not coughing so much. When this thing is so full of diesel fumes, they don't taste good. Here in a few minutes, I'll take a 10-100 break. Truckers who knows what that is, that means going to the bathroom. I just got a text. Somebody has bought land and going off grid found out that it's too expensive. So he might give that up and go back to living into a camper. I didn't see. I got 5 people trying to contact me right now. Hold on, let me see. Regis 1 replied, The Underground. I sub to your channel. Happy to help support another YouTuber. So thank you, RG Guest. Oh, let me go back there. And then Regis again. I think I got a like from Lisa. I got a heart. 2 hearts from 2 different people. And somebody else, it just says someone liked your reply. Someone liked your reply. 2 of them. New subscriber. Okay. Beef Curtains channel. Thank you for subscribing. If I haven't subscribed to your channel yet, I will as soon as I get a little bit of time and I'm not doing this live video. Let me see if I can raise this camera a little bit. Maybe too high. There, is that better? And whoever ISR Roxanne is, she hasn't left a another comment or anything. I think she just subscribed and left. And then let me see. I got a bunch of people on here. I don't know if you can see it in that camera or not. Nah, it's too bright the way I got the light behind it. So it shows a little bit of light in this way without being too bright or too dark. And then the reason why this side is a little bit lighter is because I got it on the other computer. The light from that computer does this dark side, or it would be dark, more dark on this side. So I don't have the soft lights to actually put the lights where they need. I want to get those camper glow blow up lights that has a little solar panel on it. You let them charge of a day, and then you blow them up and turn them on, and it's like a little balloon, and that's really good lighting. Not too bright and not too dark, and you can place those around when you're doing your videos to have proper lighting. So, well, I'm not going to answer those until maybe tomorrow night. So that's good on that. Close that out. And here pretty soon, I got to call the Philippines, get hold of my family, and see where we're at there about this, trying to reconstruct our house that got destroyed from a typhoon. And then we just got hit by a volcano, so my family's hurting a little bit over there. So I don't know if that, I think there's somebody in here. It says one person. I wish you could leave a comment over here in live comments just so I know who you are and get to know you. And Lisa's not back. Roger's not been in tonight. Roger was getting ready to trek in to the mountains, and I believe he's in Alaska, and he's trekking deep into the mountains to go find him a place maybe to build him a little cabin, a tiny cabin to live in. And it would be great if he's out there and can do the videos and stream them or send them to me. But if they don't have Wi-Fi there, what he can do is record them and wait till he's someplace where they have a signal, and then he could upload them. That's what he's doing out there. And it's hard to keep contact of Roger because he's out of signal range. And we haven't heard from Letitia in over 5 days now up in Montana. Lisa, she just left recently, I believe, to get her phone charged. She's in the woods with no way of charging her phone. And she went to the pub, she says, and getting it charged up. And then she'll be out in the woods, and that might take her a couple of hours from the time that she left to get back to her campsite. If she's got a campfire, I hope it's still burning pretty good when she gets back, or at least got some coals to make it easier to start a fire in the dark. Well, now see, the light's not there because my screen went off on my computer. So is it better like that, or is it better like this? Let me know. I am early. That's probably why all the other regular subscribers and people who watch this channel live is not here yet. I usually don't start until 10 o'clock every night around 10 o'clock-ish. I heard some sounds outside. And I got my attack cat laying right here. I don't want to wake her up. So it must not be nothing to worry about. She slept right through it. But I will. You can treat this, if I stay on live, you can treat this as a, if you want to get something to drink or go get something to eat, or putting your kids to bed, or you're starting a campfire, or whatever it is that you need to do, you can go and come back, or just leave it on and do what you got to do, like I'm getting ready to do. I will leave it on, and then we'll go do my thing. I think I'm gonna go microwave me a sandwich real fast, and then I'll be back. So there won't be nothing in here but maybe a cat. You might see a cat coming up and looking in the camera or something. And if she gets on my keyboard and knocks me off, I'll be right back and go back live again. And like I said, I'm a little early tonight, and that might be why the regulars are not here, except for Lisa and whoever's here with me now. But I do want to thank the lady who let me borrow her camera to see if it would work better and be a little bit better than my camera built into the laptop. And somebody said it's a little bit better, but not a GoPro. I agree with them. It's not a GoPro. It's a regular old USB cam. That's all it is. I don't even think they had 1080 DPI back in when this camera was made. I think it's like 720 DPI. But as I'm looking at my computer screen, do think that the pixels are a little bit tighter and a little bit more clarity. I have yet to try it on my Hewlett Packard, which I haven't went live on it since yesterday, and I may hook it up just to see what it does on the Hewlett Packard. So she let me use it for now. So I'm going to get ready, go get on my microwave, get me a sandwich or two, microwave it real fast, come back out here. I still got I can't hardly lift my left side. It's partially paralyzed and it hurts. And I thank the good Lord that nothing worse happened. And I almost melted it last night. That jet heater did that to it and made a big old bubble. It finally went down. And because this thing is really hot and it gets warm in here fast, but it also gives me so much diesel fumes that it's messing up my lungs a little bit and my throat. And maybe if you see me crying, I'm not crying because I'm sad. It's because of the diesel fumes getting into my eyes. So you have to forgive me that. And like the people said on those comments, they love this raw live channel, and they said it has the potential of becoming one of the biggest video channels on YouTube, with the live content of interaction of people out there that's living in tents, campers, sleeping bags, motorhomes, you name it. People are living in that and doing the nomad lifestyle. A lot of people's living the boondocking lifestyle, and they live cheap. The only thing they got to do is get their food to eat and their gas to travel to their next um, campsite. Some of them go south to stay warm. Some of them go up north because they like uh, the countries up north, like Michigan, North Dakota, Washington. They like to go on the original Oregon Trail, which you all know what that is in our history of the United States. And I like the Oregon Trail, and just getting out there and running across the real old ghost town. And sometimes it's pretty cool to set up camp. And then when I was little, my parents took us to Arizona, and I think it was Tucson, Arizona, to an old fashioned western town built the way it was back in the days, and they make movies there a lot. Clint Eastwood's made a movie there. Um, uh, John Wayne's made movies there, and that was pretty cool. And then they do a show where they're drawing guns and shooting each other, and these guys fall from a two-story building, and they land on the ground. And they get up like nothing happened. It don't hurt them. So they got it all staged, of course, but it's pretty cool to actually be there and get an idea the way it was back in the late 1700s and early 1800s when what they called the new frontier of of the United States becoming the United States. So I might just leave this on, go do my thing. You, the number one, the only person in here right now, go do your thing. And we will just call this intermission. So I say about 15 minutes intermission. Go get your popcorn or whatever you want. Uh, do your business. Um, so for about the next, I'm going to turn this on, get a little bit warm. And then roll me a couple of cigarettes. And then I'm going to go and put a couple sandwiches in the microwave. So without further ado, I'll go back here and pop me up a couple of cigarettes with my machine to make them. I get tobacco that don't have chemicals in it. It's more like Indian tobacco. And very, very little nicotine in them. So, cutting back, I don't really do the conventional cigarettes unless I run out with the cigarettes I got, then I'll go buy a regular pack and get all those poisons and chemicals and nicotine in me. But it's not like every day that I'm smoking a pack like that. I'll continue to talk. If I can get around this heater without getting burnt. And I think I would like to get a GoPro. The best GoPro is close to $300. And I think they built that camera especially for YouTube. It's an action camera. And I want to get one really bad, and then maybe one regular camcorder when I'm doing videos, when I go out and start traveling to meet these people that's on YouTube with me and do live interviews with you actually. So if you live in a lifestyle, got a campsite, you would like me to come and maybe camp with you, or set up a campsite near you, do this live one-on-one, I can travel around and do that. I'm at the stage of my life, I'm not working for anybody else, building campers or house trailers or doing interior designs for somebody else to get all the money and pay me minimum wage. That's out. I'll do it for myself. I'll use those trades and skills to bring myself out of my hole. And then I'll work my way up to where I got me an RV and I want to buy a 16-foot cargo trailer. Well, if I got an RV, I don't need one that long. Maybe a 12-footer. That will be my actual garage with all my tools and supplies and everything I need, an extra water tank. Ooh, I gotta turn that off. I'm up here where the carbon is most. Oh my goodness. My voice is changing. And I'm sorry, a lot of you said you liked the raw life. This is raw life. This is me. Let me get this one made. If you see me putting my knee up here, this countertop is so slick. So when I pull the handle to shove the tobacco into the paper, it slides off. So I put my knee up there to stop it because I don't want to put a hole in the screw into my countertop to stop this cigarette machine and platform that I built from sliding. And I'm not sure how I'm going to do the interior design. And I just know on this side is a queen size bed. I may make this my living quarters on this side, and behind the camera here. Is that vent open? Oh my goodness. I thought it was open. I gotta get a cigarette in my throat to get that diesel fuel to go down. I think I'll make the rest of them sit down and smoke this. If it gets cold in here, I'll just put my shirt on. Get down here where the oxygen's a little bit better. Wet my whistle. What did I do with the pop? Did I put it over there? Nope. Oh, it's over here. Nope. Where did my pop go? Did you take my pop? Hold on. Oh, there it is. Down here. And then between, what time is it now? 7:41. I want to go to the dollar store before they close. They close at 10. And get a few little supplies to put in my camper. And get me some more cola to keep the diesel fuel washed down. Much better. And it's so cold and windy outside that the heat's just not staying in here as much. If it wasn't so windy, I could go longer without having to hit this. And then the little heater I got under the table is dispersing heat all around the table because I got it on the floor. So the heat does hit the bottom of the table, keeps the computers warm enough for them to function and to, outlast the diesel fuel. So, and I don't see any new comments yet. So Lisa's not back or anything. But I'm surprised, and I want to go check that out on this computer. Some of the subscribers that are subscribing to me aren't showing up on my subscriber list page. And that's because either they're new to the YouTube or they got their YouTube still set in private mode. When you first join YouTube and get you a new channel, you have to go to YouTube and reset your settings to public and share. And you want to at least have somebody or yourself share one of your videos so that the algorithm that's built for YouTube, that operates YouTube, logs you into the system, and then being in public mode, when you subscribe to my channel, it will show up, and I will be able to go over here, and it'll say view the channel, the person that subscribed, and they'll tell me, and then there's a list if I've subscribed, or it will say subscribe. So, and then if it says subscribe, I'll click on it, and then it changes to subscribe. So if you're just wondering if why you don't have no subscribers on your channel, that you may have subscribers and don't even know it, is because they're on private mode and it won't show up. Your number will go higher, your account number will go higher, but you won't know who they are unless they go public on their channels. So, and I'm getting ready to see if my list has changed at all. And so far, unless I refresh, I got a bunch of subscribers tonight, but they're all on private mode. So I can't tell who they are unless I get a pop-up and then I click on them and it just directly takes me to their channel. And that's the only way you can get to their channel, is kind of like being invited through being subscribed. But if they keep it on private, it don't show up on my list. It says I got 571 subscribers, and so I've gained like 10 subscribers on this last 2 live videos of people subscribing. And sometimes it takes a little bit for YouTube to process it to put it on your page. So that could be why I don't see any of their names or their channels on my list. So what I will do is go to Video Manager. Come on, Video Manager. Oh. One of my videos is up to 27 now. Let me go to comments, if I can find them. I don't think comments is on. Oh, community. They changed YouTube all around, and gotta go through community to get. Oh, I got one helper review, so one comment has came in. Let me see who that is. Oh, it was from Lisa. I got a comment from Lisa. She says, "Good video, Underground." And then that's it. Nothing else is showing up yet. And then let's go to my channel. And that's where you go on your channel to know everything and see all your videos. Oh, copyright status. And I bet you that's because of the Vivitar. They're trying to fight me. They let everybody put Vivitar on their channels but me. Because I'm telling them that it's not working. They want to copyright me. So Let me go back to my dashboard. And I did so many videos, I forget which one it was, but I know it was about the camera because it was really trying to keep my mouth shut. Pay it forward, the underground. Yep, there it is. 7. Well, they didn't take it off. It just means Vivitar Camera Company says that I infringed on copyright law or their copyrights. So they flagged it. And what happened is YouTube realizes there's thousands of people has did reviews on their Vivitar cameras, but none of them's got copyright flags. Why are they flagging me out of everybody? So I don't know. Is it a personal vendetta because I'm exposing that camera and promoting you should buy a GoPro instead of a Vivitar? That's probably it. 308 views today. Let me see. View all. 571 subscribers. And today I got 308 views so far. And it's still early because I started early. I was thinking it was later. And I'm up to 58,726 views. That's a lot of people. That's over half of 100,000. Of course, we all know that. So, and then back to YouTube Studio. Oh, I am on YouTube Studio. Let me clean this all out, close all these tabs, and start. Go to new analytics. Let's see what this new analytics is all about. Oh, that ain't too bad. 86 views in the last hour. That ain't bad at all either. And then it's got a little live line that tells you anytime anybody hits your channel. That's pretty cool. Let's see. 22 people in the last hour. My high in the last 3 videos was my first video, 47. I think I'm close to the bottom now. It gives you the ratings of your highest views on whatever video you put on, which that's common. I don't have my all time. One of my videos hit 27,000 views in one night. That was a good hit video. And I think I'm going to have to put the jacket on, and then I'm going to leave, and I'm going to leave a message for Lisa and let her know we're in intermission and to stay on, and we'll be with her when she gets back. We are in intermission for 15 minutes. And waiting to see back soon. Let's put be right back. Let her know we are still live. That should be enough to give her all the information she needs. And it should be popping up. There it is. So, oh, that wind's blowing everything around. It's a good thing I built skirts on the outside of my camper to keep it steady somewhat. And because the outside skirts is actually what's keeping the top up from falling down. Because if it was to fall down, I would go, oh, ow. I guess I needed to pop that one. It was jammed up. I'm going to put my coat on. Go across the way here where I got access to a microwave. Put me in a couple of sandwiches. Oh, dang, this was sitting over there where the wind's blowing and it's cold. I need to turn this on just to get this warm enough. Walk outside to go get to the microwave. One more time before I go out. I'll open the door and let the fumes out at the same time we're trying to heat it. Because I'm standing up and I'm getting the fumes a lot worse. Tearing everything up. Want me to lock you outdoors? Turn the heater off. That should be enough. I'm gonna get ready to go in to the microwave, and I don't see any new comments. And getting ready to go on my intermission. Only 5 views in the last 10 minutes. I may just go ahead and turn this off and then go live a little bit later because it is still so early. I'm usually not on this time, and it's hard telling when Lisa will get back to her tent campsite out in the woods. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this off because I gotta go and take 2 dogs for a walk and let them do their thing, and then I'll go from there. So maybe it's 8 o'clock now. So maybe about 9 or 9:30 ish, we'll be back on. So looks like she's don't know how far she has to go out of the woods to get to a town hiking like that to get her phone charged. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off for now. I'm not getting no comments right now, and I'm not in the live or below. So I will catch you in about an hour, hour and a half. Y'all have a nice night, and we'll be back live a little bit later. Bye bye.